Hello everyone and welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Thursday 17th of January with me, Richard, market analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got a fairly sort of risk negative look to the markets today, nothing too decisive in terms of direction, just very slight sort of edge lower on the equity markets, and that's come as Wall Street futures have dropped away despite the fact that we actually had a little bit of a move higher on Wall Street last night. You've seen the futures unwinding a touch there, and that's sort of reflected through the European markets. But there is a very slight risk negative look to Forex as well, with the yen outperformance. But I mean, to be honest, there was an early slight dollar positive bias that has actually now unwound. So again, the markets seem to be consolidating, and that consolidation I think comes through when you look at the likes of the oil price, and also as I'll show you in later videos, I'll show you the gold price, which continues to remain stuck in this sideways range it's been for the last couple of weeks. European equity markets broadly are also stuck in a sideways range as well. So little real direction we're seeing at the moment on a broader basis, and I think that's starting to come through as political situation in UK, for example, on Brexit has settled to an extent, I suppose. The fact that Theresa May remains Prime Minister, her deal's not going to get through, and it hasn't got through, so subsequently we need to look towards Plan B, but Plan B tends to sort of edge towards a more softer Brexit, which the markets would be sort of fairly well settled about. So subsequently you're not really seeing too much movement around sterling or FTSE at the moment. Now in terms of data points today, driving moves, we've got Eurozone CPI at 10 o'clock, and this is the final CPI, expected to be confirmed at 1.6 and on the headline, and 1.0 on the core. Beyond that, you're looking at, I mean, it's difficult to really rely on US data at the moment. Certainly on the Reuters feed, they quite often come out with data points that ultimately don't come through. However, you've got jobless claims basically at 1:30, and tonight we've also got the Japanese CPI, the core CPI, which is expected to come back to 0.8% from 0.9%, so that could have an impact on the yen later on this evening. In terms of my chart today, we're looking at dollar Swissy. Now this is interesting because what we have seen is a big jump actually in dollar Swissy. Dollar has sort of regained a bit of lost ground in recent days, but also with risk appetite less negative, dollar Swissy and the Swiss franc has weakened, and dollar Swissy has risen, and that rise has taken it through this downtrend channel, but also through a pivot line. Now this pivot line around 99 big figure has been interesting. That's not only a 38.2% fib level, but also old support basis, consistently old support, became resistance, and then breaking through that now means we're open 23.6% fib, but also parity starts to come back into play again. Now parity is a consistent level that dollar Swiss comes back to and finds as a consolidation point. So rallying through this 38.2% fib opens 23.6% fib, but also, as I said, parity, which is at 1. And that comes with this improvement that we're seeing through the momentum indicators, MACD lines crossing higher, stochastics especially leading the market higher. RSI, if that moves above 60, that would really sort of suggest this continued improvement that we're seeing. Now 38.2% fib becomes supportive initially, 99.03, and then as I said, sort of it's looking towards a test, I think, initially of 99.63, which is the first real reaction high, or lower reaction high, within the old trend channel. But then you're looking at back towards parity. You can see the strength of the momentum pulling through on the hourly chart, with the hourly RSI consistently above 50 mark, MACD lines above neutral, stochastics holding strong configuration as well, market rolling higher, higher lows, higher highs on the near-term basis, and any unwinding moves I think are a chance to buy. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you